And the reason they teach you this, by the way, is not for your benefit. It's because really it's the institutions that they're really it's financial pharmaceuticals is what it is. They're paid to sell you to keep your money with them, to live on less than the interest so that they continue to get paid a percentage of the money under assets under management. That's how they make their money. So they don't want you to pull out more. And of course, if the market does drop, if you pull out money and the market drops at the same time, you're disinvesting. This is why Dave Ramsey is full of crap when he says, in fact, he even argued with one of his own co-hosts. He actually contradicted his co-host and said, no, in fact, the co-host said 3%, by the way. And Dave said, no, you should be able to pull out 8% because if you make 12 in the market, which by the way, the market's never averaged 12 for long term. It's even right now, it's 8.3 for the last 30 years with the 17-year bull run, right? So it's 8.3 average. He says 12. He's like, you should be able to pull out 8% a year. Like, leave a 4% buffer. But I actually showed on my own podcast, said, hey, look, guys, if you have an 8% average return, where it's 2 years up, 1 year down, and averages to be 8%, guess what? You run out of money in 15 years. You burn through all your cash because of that disinvesting that happens. So all this stuff, this is the stuff that we're having to battle, and especially on my end, every single day, and I have to unwind and untrain people. That's the very crap that I was trained to teach too, to get them away from this stuff.
Yeah, and that's a really tough time to figure out that you can't save your way to retirement when you're almost there or 2/3 of the way there, right? Like I believe that my grandparents' generation, right. I say this a lot actually on this podcast, and for those that listen, I apologize. I'm a broken record, but I think that my parents' generation could save their way to retirement, and that for my generation, it largely has been taken away. Because as fast as you can put away those dollars, the value of those dollars is often being eroded out the back door, called inflation, faster than you can put them away and compound them. And I worked in cardiology for 16 years as a medical sales rep. And I was there when there was not a large, 5 to 7 cardiologists that were all trying to retire in the 2008, 2009, 2010 timeframe. That was their plan, talked about it for several years leading up to that. Yeah. And when you have those paper assets and then that market corrects, all of a sudden, so much was wiped off their balance sheet that they all found out that they had to work for another 5 years just to try to get back to where they were. And for me, that was a light bulb moment. It's like a defensive strategy and hoping that you can earn enough that the value is going to go up high enough and hope that the market is where it needs to be when you need to take that money out. That's a very scary place to be. And it made me realize that it's hard to practice defense and get ahead. You kind of, especially my generation, you have to practice offense because of the cost of living, the cost of housing, the cost of everything else, the value of the dollar, the inability to save at a rapid enough rate when the value of the dollar's going down, associated with also the cost of living going up. It's a really scary gamble to take. That's a 40-year gamble and you only get to do it once. So for me, that's why I believed in, just like you, I read the Purple Bible, Robert Kiyosaki, and then got into it after that, single family homes and then Airbnbs. And now Neil and I and our partners, we do self-storage. We buy old Kmart buildings and we convert them into climate-controlled self-storage facilities because those are cash flowing assets that are inflation resistant, pandemic resistant, recession resistant. Not proof, nothing is. But that's the difference, is we're trying to force appreciate through asset class conversion and convert to that cash flow mindset. And I love that because then it gives you that optionality. And, you're talking about financial independence, and I replaced my income before and I did it the wrong way. And after I did it, I realized that I had only focused on the financial component. And really I wanted a location independence component. I wanted a time independence component that wasn't part of that. And I kind of had to start back over. Yeah. But I love the way that you're doing this, is that you're focusing on giving that money a different purpose, to focus on cash flow in terms of, instead of just long-term growth that honestly can kind of have the rug pulled out from underneath it. You're focusing on that cash flow. And my understanding is that one of your ways that you're doing that is by giving $1 multiple jobs. You're taking cash and you're recycling that cash, or you have the ability to use it a couple different times. And that's why I think this would be a great time.